Hello and welcome back to the channel. We're looking today at another cryptic crossword. We've got a definition of what a cryptic crossword is on the right hand side of the screen. Effectively every clue will have a hidden way of seeing what the answer is, as well as a straightforward definition. Looking today at Lovatts cryptic crossword, which is a nice introduction cryptic crossword. If anyone does want to play any one of these or a different one, the link to Lovatts is in the description. Okay, let's get started with Sunday, the 4th of May. Okay. So, I started looking at number 12 just because it was the first on the list there. Audacious erasure protects addict. So, with most of these clues, our straightforward definition will be either at the beginning or the end. In this case, I think our definition is addict, which means that our hidden version of the clue is going to be in the phrase audacious erasure protects. And in this case, the word hidden there is very apt. We've got a hidden word within audacious erasure. The word user is being protected within that. We've got the US from the end of audacious and ER from erasure, which gives us user, meaning addict. Now that hasn't given us the best crossing letters, but let's see what we can do. Ensured for a change that it is lasting. So for a change here indicates to me that that could be an anagram that we're looking for. So then the question is what is for a change? Now if you read this, ensured for a change, it kind of feels like insured should be. That is 7 letters. It could be lasting, that's also 7 letters, but I'm just going to start with insured. Also, we've got the R, we know it's not lasting. So what about endures? That does mean lasting. And it is. One of the good things about Lovatts that makes it a nice easy one is if you get the answer right, it will tell you by highlighting it in green. Okay. Seek any converted New Englanders. Okay. So again, converted here makes me think that this could be an anagram, and New Englanders is obviously too long. So I think New Englanders is our definition, and we need to change seek any. So strictly, I think New England is the part of, it's the very northeast of America, isn't it? You've got your Massachusetts, and that sort of thing. It's the New England Patriots, for example, are based in Boston. So I think that's going to be Yankees. And again, some of our crossing letters here aren't great. They're very long words. Norse disaster. Okay, disaster again could be an anagram indicator. Keeps everyone up at night with the noise. Yes, okay. So Norse, we can turn into snore. Gives us a crossing letter here. Rifle parts found in tubs. The surface reading this clue is quite nice. It doesn't feel like it's a sentence being bodged together to give 2 clues in one. It feels like it's a single sort of thought. You've got some parts of a rifle that are in a bathtub or similar. So what have we got? Rifle parts found in tubs. Rifle parts. I mean, if you rifle, you rummage, don't you? So that could be an anagram indicator. Parts found could indicate you're looking for bits of it. So what if we had, and there's an R in rifle and parts. So it's 7 letters long, so I'm wondering if it's going to end with IN, and then we're anagramming whichever one of these two. in tubs. What would a tub be? A vat? Parts could give us strap in, no. I'm not seeing it, but let's just see if that N gives us something. No, I can't see anything obvious from it, so let's leave that one alone then. What about if we go up here? Well organised hospital worker. A hospital worker could be a doctor, could be a nurse, could be, if I spell it right, an orderly, which also means well organised. So this is a double definition. We've got a definition at the start, definition at the end. We're looking for something that is synonymous with both of those. At that point, it's basically only one thing. Ray and die somehow. Somehow could be an anagram indicator. Ray's 3, die's 2, together that's 5. Somehow together keep a record of their experiences. Yes, we can do that. We've got diary, which is a record of experiences. Ripping brew gang. There's only 3 letters. What could we have? Ripping brew. Ripping brew gang. Okay, I think I've got this. So if we assume, so this is 3 words long. If we assume that our definition is 1 word and our wordplay is 2 words, then that kind of means that brew is going to be some element of wordplay, unless it's double definition or something, in which case we'll come back to that. But our definition is either going to be ripping or gang. Now, if we assume, so brew, there's a short synonym for brew. Actually, there's a couple of short synonyms for brew, but what about tea? If you put on a brew, you make a cup of tea. Tea can't go at the end. Tea could go at the beginning. So, and then ripping, if we've got those as guessing letters, we could put ring at the end. A ring can be a gang, like sort of Wild West terminology sort of thing. Or the hat and crew gang, hat and crew ring, it feels synonymous, but that gives tearing, which can mean ripping. Okay. Gent hides limb in item of clothing. Okay. So, because we've got the T here, gent hides, I'm wondering if we just have a word inside the word gent. And limb could be a leg, could be an arm. So what if we have G from gent, arm, and the rest of gent, we get garment, which is an item of clothing. This is going okay actually now. Slippery creatures sleep endlessly upside down. Okay. Again, the surface reading of this is, it feels okay. Like, if you imagine like a slippery bat, then this sentence makes sense. So if we've got the phrase sleep endlessly here. So to me, we take the end off the word sleep, upside down. We then put that back to front. We get eels, which are slippery creatures. Do I want to get some more crossing letters before we try this one? Pointer and strange red hat help seamstress in her craft. Pointer, so it's needle, so could be a pointer, and what we've got, and the A and the D, that could be, given what we've got there, could be thread, strange red hat, yes, so it's just an anagram of thread. Okay. Needle and thread would help a seamstress in her craft, that makes sense. Reflected cry of the screech owl. I may have read that in a slightly funny way. I'm trying to pass the clue as we go through. With this, of the is doing what we had in this clue, protects did in this clue. So we're saying that within the phrase screech owl, there is a 4-letter word that means a reflective cry. We've got the H here already, so ECH and O gives us echo. Feels okay. Bowling stint anticipated, but after the scheduled time. Okay. I mean, we've got an O here, so I'm thinking that a bowling stint could be an over. Cricket term. 6 balls would be an over that the bowler would do. And then, so after the scheduled time, given what we've got here, I'm imagining that's overdue. And anticipated does mean that something is due, so that feels sensible. Opportunities to show off your frock before the big night. I mean, we've got the D, E and S, so I'm thinking that could be dress. And then before the big night, that could easily be dress rehearsal. Ooh, dress rehearsal. Oh, opportunities plural, so rehearsals. There we go. Region. And this one here, strictly speaking, that is all one clue, but that is a clue that is so specific once you understand it that it can't really be anything else. I think we'd call it a cryptic clue, but yeah, opportunity. Like if you try and split that clue into a definition and another part, you can't really, because the whole clue is the definition. Before the big night isn't the clue. Like you could take out the middle bit maybe. Opportunity before the big night. Even then, like it's a little dodgy. Opportunities to show off your dress before the big night. It can only really be the one thing. Okay. A region covered by Delaware administration. I think covered by is again showing that it's a hidden clue. So we've got the R in Delaware administration. We take the A, R, E from Delaware, A from administration. We've got area, which means region. I guess rifle parts, we haven't got that. We'll come back to that in a bit. Growled. Growled threateningly. I think I'm going to come back to that one. P.S. Adele, surprisingly, is quite delighted. I imagine that surprisingly here is an anagram indicator. If we've got delighted, it's likely that this word is going to be from the same part of speech, so let's try putting the ED on the end. We've got the S. Quite delighted. P-A-L-E, pleased, be quite delighted. Sacred piece of land. Okay, this is another hidden. I'll give you 5 seconds to... Yeah, so sacred piece of land. We take, I mean, it's 4 letters long. It's not going to be part of the word land, and there's very limited opportunity for it to be of land. Flan would be basically the only word I can think of that you can get from that. 1, there's an E there, so it doesn't make sense. It doesn't work. But 2, is flan synonymous with sacred? No. So we're going to take out of the word sacred acre, which means land. Chaos over party leaders, reading light. So party leader could be the leading letter of party, which would give us that P that we've already got. In which case, because that we're thinking that could be part of the wordplay, that would mean that reading light is likely to be our definition, with chaos or chaos over being this bit here. Now, what sort of reading light might you have? Lamp seems reasonable, and from there, chaos being bedlam also feels reasonable. So we get bed lamp, a reading light. 007's ties. This is only 2 words long, so with that you should always be thinking double definition. There's very limited opportunity to have any other sort of cryptic clue or cryptic crossword clue with only 2 words. Very difficult to get, an indicator that something is in something if you're only using the 1 word to do it. So 007's ties, we're going to go for bonds. If something is 007, it belongs to bond. It is bonds. If something is tied, then it is bonded. It has ties. It has bonds. There we go. I've got a good number of crossing letters there now, don't we? Let's try this one. Inflated abnormally. Sell now. I'm thinking that abnormally could be an anagram indicator. Sell now. Inflated. Sell now. Maybe I'm not right on that. Let's give this one a go, shall we? Rifle parts found in tubs. Oh, I was completely wrong earlier. There's no anagram indicator or indicator to rifle. This is a double definition. So a rifle part could be a barrel. So rifle parts, multiple, could be barrels, and tubs are barrels. Growled threateningly when tangled up. Okay, now I've got the S, I can see this. So this is another double definition, effectively. We've got growled threateningly being one definition and tangled up being the other. And you can say for both of those that you were snarled. Snarled at, you were snarled for the other one. How babies down under get around on land or in water. How babies. So I have never heard this phrase before. It's worth noting here that Lovatts is a Australian website. It's entirely possible there's some sort of Australian slang that comes in that, as a Brit, I do not know. I'm guessing babies down under, which we would refer to Australia as, and I think they refer to themselves as it. How would babies get around? Well, we've got this 5-letter C something A something L at the end. So I'm thinking that that's cruel. Is there a swimming stroke called Australian cruel? It seems reasonable. The answer there is yes, there is apparently an Australian cruel. Who knew? But that's one of the good things about cryptic crosswords. You don't have to understand the one part of the answer to get there, as long as you understand the other parts. Okay. Fee includes right to remain independent. Okay. So, again, with a lot of these clues, the definition is going to be at the front or the back. Here, I'm thinking it's at the back, looking for a word that means independent, and is a word that means fee, that includes something that means right. Well, I'm actually going to say, well, we've got the right first of all, we've got R here. And actually, let's not even use a synonym for fee, let's use fee itself, gives us free, which is to remain independent. Let's try, we tried that one already, didn't we? Okay, let's go up here, shall we? High-ranking officer is not a bit particular. Okay, if something is not particular, something is not specific, then it is general, which is the name of a high-ranking officer. City remains eternal, despite more change. So change here indicates something is going to change. Let's have it as an anagram indicator. We've got 4-letter word here in more. What cities can we think of that start with an R and anagrams of more? I'm thinking Rome, which I'm guessing is referred to as the Eternal City, making it possible to get rented property. I think the answer is leasing, because if you get rented property, then you are leasing. Is there a second meaning in there, or is making it possible to get rented property the entirety of a cryptic clue? I can't really see a second meaning, so I'm thinking that must just be it. It's, oh no, it's not even leasing. Ooh, eat my words there. Making it possible to get rented property. Okay, it's not leasing, it is letting, and that is then two different definitions, isn't it? To get rented property, if you get rented property, you are letting, and if you're making something possible, you're letting it happen. So that is two definitions. That happen to fit with the two crossing letters that we already had for leasing. Use logarithms to cleverly become joint specialists. So I'm thinking that use logarithms probably has 15 letters. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 13. So let's use 2 as well. Use logarithms 2 cleverly. We're going to use those letters in a clever way, and that will become something that means joint specialists. I am not seeing it. Oh, a joint specialist is not someone who's a specialist in two things. It's a specialist, it's a doctor who specialises in joints. So that is going to be an absolute nightmare to spell, because it's rheumatologists, I think. Rheumatologists. Fingers crossed, that's a tricky one to put in. There we go. If that wasn't right, I would have had to revert to actually checking letter by letter, which is a little bit painful. Remove pin from copings to release gears. Okay, so we've got the word copings, which has the word pin in it. If we take out the word pin from copings, then we will get cogs, which means gears. There we go. The word to, the phrase to release in here is just joining the two bits of the sentence together. So release means nothing in this. Make official announcement. 500, find serial revolting. Okay, so I'm thinking, so revolting could be an anagram indicator. It's a little of an odd one, but I think it's okay. Then 500, if we have Roman numerals, then 500 is D, I believe. I always get mixed up between 50 and 500. L is 50 and D is 500, I believe. So we've got serial. If we anagram that, we could get declare, which does mean to make an official announcement. Nearest strange looking oriental. Nearest strange looking oriental. So strange looking again could be a anagram indicator. Oriental is 8 letters and nearest is 7. So let's work on the basis that oriental is our definition, and we're looking for a word that means oriental, that is an anagram of nearest and has this ESE in this place. So I'm thinking if you're oriental, you're eastern, and probably if you're oriental, you probably don't appreciate the use of the word oriental to describe you. Ads, roll out the bucks. So the word out can be an anagram indicator. The bucks is 8 letters, ad's roll is 7, so we can look at that. And actually, given that it starts with a D, we can get dollars. So all I think is happening here with that question mark, I think it's just there to enable the clue to have those two words that do not fit together there in that way. Last round, possibly the letter D, has Mr. Jolson following Flipper. Last round. No, last round is not the letter D and part of wordplay. I was thinking that last round would be a D that goes there. Actually, a flipper is a fin. We've got Mr. Jolson, Al Jolson, I think that's probably a reference to, following it. So if we have fin and then Al, we get final, which can mean if it's the final round, it's the last round. And in a cup, then the last round is the final. Okay, one word left. Inflated abnormally, sell now. Okay, yeah, now we've got these crossing letters. This is pretty straightforward. So it is an anagram of sell now, and we can get swollen out of it. How do we do there? 25 minutes. From experience, I don't think 25 minutes is going to be particularly good in the standings on this puzzle, but you know, we were talking it through on video. Makes it hard to do it in a good time. I think if you're getting around 12 minutes, you're usually doing pretty reasonably, and if you're getting sort of sub 10, then you're probably in the top 20%, something like that. But the fact that this is an easier cryptic crossword does mean that you get quite a few people who do finish it in a good amount of time. Okay, well, if you enjoyed the video, then please like and subscribe, and yeah, see you for our next one. Thank you very much. Bye then.